Hello and welcome back, Cozy Club. I want to tell you guys a story. A story of a man who waited patiently within the shadows, eating 24 eggs, flirting with women, and flexing his biceps. This man waited as he watched his brothers get reworked and his villain companions get refreshed. And then the time has come. His event dropped. The Beauty and the Beast event came in November, and to no avail. He did not even get a refresh during the Beauty and the Beast event. So here at the Cozy Club, we called it dead. We said he was never going to get one again, because if he didn't get one at the legendary event, why would he get one now? Because as we all know, his motto is, no one blinks like Gaston. And let me tell you guys, when it comes to tanking, everybody tanked better than Gaston. However, how times have changed, this beautiful man has finally gotten refreshed, and let me tell you guys, he's definitely going to have a spot as a premier villain tank for not only the villain faction, but also the kingdom faction. With this May update, we also got a Yzma refresh. We're going to dip into both Gaston and Yzma's rework or refresh, whatever way you want to talk about it. You guys know here at the Cozy Club, we absolutely love when characters get touched up rather than just keep on getting new characters. And the best part is, in this May update, we got 2 reworks for villains and then also a new character coming in Cruella DeVille. Now, there are some leaks, some data leaks of what Cruella's kit looks like, and I'm going to let that come into the game before we talk about that a ton, and you guys can rest assured we're going to have a video on that. But today's video is going to be all about my first impressions on both Gaston and Yzma. Let's get started. What is going on, Cozy Club? As always, it is a beautiful day for some DSA, and we got ourselves the newest update of this week. And now, of course, we're all just waiting and looking for new game modes, and they did let us know we're going to get more information on the Adventure Campaign game mode come Friday. You guys can guarantee we're going to get a video out for that. But in the meantime, we did get a couple of refreshes for those villains. And let me tell you, Gaston is going to fit into a bunch of different teams. Now, Yzma, not looking so great with her rework. And Kronk, for whatever reason, is not a villain. I hope they change that, because for Pete's sakes, he was going to throw Cusco right off a waterfall. Hashtag bring Cusco to DSA. All right, we're going to go ahead and start off with the man with the giant biceps. People either love him or hate him. He thinks everybody loves him. And now, Cozy Club, truly, no one can do what Gaston can do within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. He's definitely going to be a very solid tank and has one of the best kind of reworks, rebuffs to one of his abilities, and it's going to be doing some pretty crazy things with the villain and kingdom faction. Let's go ahead and start out with his basic attack, Studley Punch. Now, the one thing I will spoil with Gaston is he's got giant biceps, but the guy does not do a lot of damage. He's truly kind of a hybrid support tank. He's going to be taking a lot of damage while aiding your teammates on the battlefield. Taking a look at the basic first here, Gaston's refresh of Studley Punch. You're going to see his basic attack. Previously, it's going to be doing some decent damage with some chance to follow up and get offense up for 1 turn. Now, if any teammate was a villain, it did increase his chance by 30%, but now the chance to follow up is going to be increased for each and every villain teammate. He's going to get a 10% chance per villain teammate, including himself, to perform a follow-up attack and gain offense up. Now, that doesn't seem like anything crazy, but it's going to work really well with his passive, which we'll get to here in just a minute. We're going to go on to easily the biggest boost and the biggest bonus when it comes to the rework and the refresh of his ability, and it's going to be his first special, Storm the Castle. Cozy Club, you guys can see here from all this footage just how crazy it is that Gaston is going to give his villain teammates 30% turn meter to everybody on the team that is a villain. Now, if you go ahead and previously look at Storm the Castle, he was able to get taunt for 1 turn, give 15% speed meter fill to all teammates, and then he did have a 40% chance to grant haste. Now, this was already the shining moment of his skill set, but now he's going to be able to give double the speed meter to villains, and he's going to have an increased chance, a huge 30% chance extra to give haste to villains. So breaking down this insane ability, his first turn, he's going to grab himself a taunt, give all of the villains 30% turn meter, and in addition, he's also going to give an 80% chance for all the villains to get haste, giving them a much needed speed boost in a meta that they really fall behind. This is huge, mainly because the villains typically are a very slow team, and Gaston is going to bump them up nice and fast, catch them up with everyone else, and then it works great with a bunch of different leaders. You can go with Shan Yu to get him going extra fast and buff up the speed. You can Hero Hamada, upgrade him, get a first turn taunt, and upgrade everyone around you with some nice haste to give you a big advantage. There is a lot to like about this ability, and it's probably a top 5 villain ability within the game. Jumping on over to his next ability, the most magnificent shot. Man, he is so dang cocky. This special was already okay. It can put blinds on the main opponent and also put blind on adjacents. Now, what they did add is if this happens to crit, he's going to go ahead and assist himself with his basic attack, which is perfectly fitting, and that's going to work well with his passive and all of his villain teammates. Now, it's time for the passive that we've been talking about. Offense is the best defense. Now, previously, he was already pretty tanky with his stats. He had a 4% bonus with maximum health, and he had a 40% chance that whenever he gained offense up, he gave all villains defense up, providing that tank role and that hybrid protection that he brings. Now, with the refresh, Gaston is going to gain bonus max health per kingdom teammate at the present start of the battle, which is going to be up to 6% bonus of his max health. And in addition, he'll be getting himself 6% bonus potency per villain teammate. Now, potency is not too important for Gaston outside of his blinds, but when Gaston does gain that offense up, he is going to have a chance again to get a huge advantage, giving all of the villain and kingdom teammates defense up for 1 turn. Now, Cozy Club, this makes Gaston a perfect tank and honestly exactly what the villains needed. They needed someone to take a lot of the damage, but he's also going to bring massive support and huge turn meter gain to all of the villains around him. He's going to fit perfectly with both a full villains team. He's going to work great in kingdom teams. And honestly, he's going to be able to plug and play into a lot of different lineups. And that is definitely what has me excited about Gaston. One last note is most beta characters have absolutely garbage stats. And if you look at Gaston, his offense, obviously his biceps aren't doing him much, but he's got decent speed with a speed stone. You want to capitalize on that health, but I'm rolling with a speed stone to get that turn meter out as fast as possible. And he's got himself 28,000 health, a big metric ton of health. Combine that with the passive and high defense, and Gaston is going to be definitely able to do the tanking job for your team. All right, so talking first impressions about Gaston, I think he's definitely going to soar up on the tier list, and excited to keep on plug and playing him into a bunch of different teams. We tested him on Twitch, guys, and if you want to go ahead and watch me test him live, I'll be testing him again today. Here is my Twitch channel. You guys will be trying a bunch of different Gaston lineups. And now it's time to talk about the other refresh, being Yzma. Now, Yzma was always known for having one great turn meter removal ability, and outside of that, she's got one of the coolest skins in the game. But she was definitely left on the bench a ton, and it's really not going to change all that much. She does have potential, and I'm excited to test her, but I just don't see it all there. Gaston's kind of more in your face obvious, whereas Yzma, she got little bump ups, and Kronk didn't get anything changed with him. So altogether, I don't see massive changes. But let's go ahead and dive into each of her abilities. Starting out first with her basic attack, you guys can see she did a little bit of damage there, and she was able to call Kronk to assist with a 30% chance to call him. Now she's going to bump that up to a whopping 60% chance to call Kronk, and on top of that, Kronk is going to get a 1 protect every time this basic is used. So that's going to allow Kronk to definitely serve that tank role a little bit more. But again, that's on the basic attack. Nothing too crazy. Let's get over to the first special. Experimental Concoction was always a weird ability. It kind of did a little bit of everything, and now it's going to do some decent things here. Now, first of all, you're going to get some nice healing from this ability with both an instant heal and a continuous healing. And on top of that, you're also going to be able to now cleanse both villain and kingdom teammates. Now, it's only 2 harmful effects, and it's only on 1 target, so this isn't going to be crazy by any stretch of the imagination. But you're also going to be able to increase target speed meter by 30%. That's nothing new as well. So you're going to get a little bit of cleansing, which will be nice for the raid. But let's go ahead and get to her main ability that got really the only thing adjusted is the magic cost. Hole the Lover, the most famous line from the movie. This was actually a pretty high damaging attack on a flanking row. And the big whopping jump out kind of stat here is she was able to reduce each affected opponent's speed meter by 50%. But previously, it did have a very long cooldown before you could even use it, and Yzma, her stats, well, they're just not going to last until she's dead, and you didn't even get to use this anyway. Now, the biggest change with this is it's going to only have a 1-turn cooldown, so you'll be able to use it a lot more often, especially within the Forbidden Depths, and she definitely bumps up a little bit on the raid viability charts. Now, looking at her passive Potent Potion, she's now going to be able to get a little bit of more both effects going on by default. The helpful effect portion of the ability now heals as well, and you're going to get some damage and harmful effect chance increase for each villain teammate, and some more kingdom and villain synergy overall. So mostly, again, Yzma's going to be used mainly and primarily in the Forbidden Depths, but if Kronk can also get a refresh when, I don't know, we get Cusco, then she might get some more viability. Gaston was definitely the big riser in the tier list from this one, and he's definitely going to be very solid within the meta. And Yzma, she will go up in the tier list, just not shooting up like Gaston is going to do. On top of that, Gaston has much better stats, and Yzma's aren't so great, but it's great to get a rework of some old characters altogether, and now Yzma can at least climb up a little bit from the depths of the tier list. My friends, be sure to subscribe because we're going to have a giant villains guide coming out that's going to talk about the best teams for Gaston, some use for Yzma, and then we're going to go through each and every villain, highlighting the best teams and the best comps and the best synergy that you can find. Now, outside of these two reworks, we did get some other news, and that is going to be on Friday. We get more information on the adventure campaign, and I'm just waiting to break down whatever that might be because, yes, we are all eagerly waiting on a new game mode. Now, before this video comes to a close, you guys, we're going to do a full kind of breakdown once the kit does get revealed, once it gets finalized. But Cruella DeVille is a downtown villain, and she is coming to DSA. It's great to see new villains. I'm hoping she brings a lot more support synergy and kind of has a way to support the villains overall. And definitely the downtown villains need a lot more love, and hopefully she is somewhat of the answer. We can't get into her abilities. We don't even know how to farm her at the moment. But you guys know, once we have full access and the entire kit is out, we'll make a full first impressions video as well. All right, Cozy Club, well, that's going to be the first impressions on the new villain reworks. Love all the villain love that we've gotten this year. We didn't get much at all in the first year, and so we're getting a ton with Mother Gothel and Haiti reworks and Gaston, Yzma. There's just been a ton of villain love lately. Love to see it, and maybe this means we're building our way to a villain legendary. My friends, have a beautiful rest of your day. Like the video to help support the channel. Subscribe as the Cozy Club is absolutely free. And until next time, stay cozy.